Hey everybody, good day, welcome back to my studio, say it again, studio, my channel. I guess it's my studio as well, right? Thank you for coming, thank you for all my likes, shares, subscribes and donations and comments. It's all very much appreciated. Welcome to my new subscribers and people that are just dropping by, and welcome again to all my regular subscribers. Thank you so much for being here. You are very much appreciated. So Holy Spirit, let's get a message, shall we? I went for a beautiful walk up the gorge this morning, and everything's all wet and steamy, you know. So anyway, that was nice. Holy Spirit, Holy Ancestors, Holy Spirit Guides, please keep us protected during this reading, myself and the collective, during, after and beyond. All negative energy projections will be returned to sender immediately. No negative energy projections will prosper. I guess that I'm moving all back to front. Anyway, it doesn't matter. They'll be dissolved in, all negative energy projections will be dissolved into the ether, deemed ineffective as however the Holy Spirit sees fit. So let's get into it. I've got a stinging toe for some reason. There's a lot of buffalo tracks down the creek this morning, down the gorge. They're going right up the gorge. Could be a gift coming towards somebody. Could be a gift, could be a surprise. Well, I should imagine. I thought, well, maybe this is sort of like belated Christmas gift or something like that. My mental health is showing itself. And I just say mental health, I just said, kidnapped just wanted to come out. I just said it twice and it's just come out on the bottom, so what is going on? Damn it. Somebody doing something ridiculous? This could be history, this could have already happened. Yeah, because the history card is there. Flight. Somebody could be going on a flight. Assault is in reverse. There's no assault in December. It's December, right? It's the end of December. Is it the last day? What's the date? 28th. So there was no assault in history. Flight. Kidnapped. No assault. What is this? Flight. A loss. It's in reverse. Forget it, someone says there's no loss. Consumers are in reverse. Interesting. No loss of consumers. Maybe this is somebody's customers. No loss of customers. No loss of... there's no loss that there's no consumers. Hijacked. Ooh. Is this a flight? Oh my gosh, is this a flight hijack? It says no loss and no consumers. Something's clouded. This could also be up in the clouds, right? Since this is a flight. No consumers, no loss. Let's get one more here. No consumers, no loss. Okay, in reverse. So we've got Edgar Allan Poe story. No hacker of a story. Someone been trying to hack someone's story. Look, don't really want to see that. Just one more card with her spirit. A rabbit. A rabbit. No loss, no consumers of a rabbit. So let's see what comes out, shall we? Somebody could be heartbroken over something. It's no surprise. Where's somebody? Okay. Alright, let's have a look. Kidnapped. A fool. Somebody kidnapped a fool? Somebody's heartbroken. Or else was foolish. Or somebody broke someone's heart. Kidnapped. Clarify. A King of Swords. I've got to get my nails done. I've got them all overgrown and I can't even find my clippers. I can't find my clippers to cut them. So I'm going to have to do something. The star. Could be an Aquarius. Because that's supposed to come out in reverse. Ow. I've got spurs on the shoulder. Take the wrong angle and it's a bit painful. Trying to work on it. Okay. How's our lizards out there again this morning? Oh, yesterday I went for a swim down the creek and there was a big bunga. He lives down there. Somebody else has told me that he's been there, but I haven't seen him since I've been here until yesterday. And yeah, it was a bit daunting because where I was going swimming, he went swimming and he was in the water. He was big, like as big as the table. So anyway, I've got a King of Swords star, the star, King of Swords. So this could be this. Is this the story? Because it could be the star of a show. A King of Swords. It could be a Aquarius, Gemini, or Libra with the star. Flight. Clarify flight. The Lovers. Taking flight. Taking off. Maybe somebody's taking off in like a love situation. Taking flight. Or maybe taking flight, like taking off. Like it could be a love situation that's taking off. No loss. Clarify the no loss. No loss, no heartbreak. Consumers in reverse. No consumers of abundance. See all this stuff in the cups? No consumers. No loss, no consumers. Oh. This is giving me like, you know, like no loss, no consumers. This is, oh, I don't like this. It's like, you know how, like those elites speak of the general population as useless eaters. Now we know, I don't like to talk too much about this because, but it is what it is. The agenda speaks about the depopulation, and it's like there's no loss, that there's no consumers. It's also like like for things to like truly change, there has to be less consumption, right? But there is no, but it's like, like when you lose in population, let's talk about let's say about depopulation, right? So if you have less population, you have less consumers, right? But at the same time, you're consuming more of the resources. So eventually you're going to run out of resources if there's too much consumption, right? But if you're talking about like as the system is running or as the agenda is panning out, it is focused on the sustainability of economy, right? So if you want to sustain an economy, you have to have population to consume, right? But if you don't have that population, and when we're talking about depopulation, you're going to get less, like strain on the overall resources of the planet, right? But the resources are going to be less for like business owners and what that want more consumers. They want more people. They want more, you know what I mean? To be able to make more money, right? But let's say the people on the higher end of the scale, they've got everything, right? They don't need any more money. They've got more. Just more money doesn't mean jack, right? So they don't need to make any more money. But it's the middle population that are the business owners and whatnot that are just trying to climb the ladder of success and get more income, and so they can live a more luxurious lifestyle. When we talk, or even just to be even to survive, it's a little bit like a survival mentality, right? When people are always on the treadwheel, always chasing the money, right? That's sort of like the middle class. And then you've got those at the bottom of the barrel, right? They just consume, right? They just consume. Now, are they the people that have been labelled as the useless consumers? Possibly. But they are a necessity for the middle class. The people that are on the top, like the very, very wealthy, that don't need any money, they don't need to be, you know, chasing it, right? They don't care, okay? They don't care, and they are the people that are in power, and they know that the middle class are those that are promoting the consumption. People think it's the higher class, which it is in a way. I don't hang on a minute. 15:51 when I stop the clock there, so it's a mirroring, something's mirroring here. A missed opportunity. So what I was saying, so this is about the consumers. There's no loss of consumers. So if you lose the consumers, so those, the elites, right, the people on the top that don't need anything, they can just live however they wish, right? Because they have the control of everything. They see that the middle classes, with the businesses, small businesses, you know, those kind of businesses that really don't matter if there's less population, okay? So there's no loss if you lose the consumers for those that are in power. So if they were to lose, let's say there's some strategies to thin out the population, right? It's almost like a strategy to work out who goes first, the chicken or the egg, right? Is it the consumers, or is it those that create the consumption, which is the middle, the business people? They're the ones with the small businesses and stuff like that. Like, so for those people on the top, they just want they're you know, like if you have a look at Al Gore's Unfortunate Truth, it talks about the population being over-consuming on the environment, so it all comes down to sustainability. It's kind of contradictory because it's also about sustaining the economy. These cards, it's weird how what's happened here. I've got some, hang on a minute, let me just sort this out. So, we've got a case of the chicken and the egg, you know. Who is the driving force? Is it the population? Is it those people that are in power? Or is it the middle class, the businesses, those that are doing the work? Don't know why I'm talking about this, but I am, right? How this has come out. So it's kind of like, it's giving me like, there's no loss, no heartbreak of the loss of the consumers. The loss of the consumers is the lower class, and but see, that then is going to affect the businesses because there's no one to buy the product. Do you see what I'm saying? Just give me a moment. I've got my rice on the oven, so I better go and check it. Just a sec. Okay, I'm back again. Okay, so let's have a look at these consumers, or the loss of consumers. No consumers. So if we're to lose, I don't know what, this is really strange how this is coming out. Why is this saying no consumers? If there's no consumers, there's no loss. That's kind of what it's saying, and we've got work here. So there's no loss in somebody's work if there's no consumers. This is weird. How is this? That's true, Spirit said. We've got an Ace of Cups because there's love here. Page of Cups. It's like saying the money doesn't matter. There's a Knight of Wands coming. What's going on here, Spirit? What is it? What is this? It's like someone going, saying, like somebody's working, and somebody going, it doesn't matter if there's no consumers of whatever somebody is working on. Now what can that be? Like there's no loss, there's no heartbreak, there's no loss in not having customers. Why is the rabbit here? Rabbit death. Damn. What is this? Somebody's eating rabbit. Hey! Hey! What are you doing? Oh, I see. She's got her bone up against the leg of the table and it makes sounds like she's eating the table. She's not. So there's no Wheel of Fortune and no conflict, no Wheel of Fortune, truth. King of Cups is in reverse. A Knight of Cups in reverse. No offer, no consumer. No fortune, no burden. No offer, no consumer, no fortune, no burden. That's almost like a mantra. No fortune, no conflict, no fortune, no burden. But then we've still got the Ten of Pentacles. What is this? This is kind of like a whole new something coming out here. We've still got a Pentacle. No burden of misfortune. There's no misfortune, right? No conflict. The truth is love. Knight of Wands. No burden, no conflict. But we've got the Ten of Pentacles here. There's no misfortune. We only have love and no conflict. No conflict. So what is the rabbit here representing? If that's coming out with death. Is it telling us to eat rabbits? Death. A Queen of Cups, maybe eating rabbits. A mother. A King of Wands in reverse. A High Priestess in reverse. Is going through a tower. Eat rabbits. eat rabbits. What is kidnapped though? The King of Swords and the Star. Oh, okay, so this could be something of the past, because when I was shuffling these other cards, history kept showing itself. So this could be something to do with something in the past. Alright, so we've got the King of Swords and the Star. Clarify this King of Swords and the Star. So maybe somebody was eating rabbits. Queen of Swords in reverse. So we've got a King of Swords and a Queen of Swords juggling. And this is giving me the treadmill. This is the treadmill. Kidnapped. Ooh. Okay, here's another story. Now I was talking about the treadmill yesterday, right? Which is the work, right? That day-to-day grind. And this is coming out under kidnapped. And a Queen of Swords in reverse. Under the King of Swords. Who is the star, the main player. The main player here may have kidnapped a Queen of Swords. Now this may be in the past, and this is for the grind. Somebody may have been kidnapped for the grind. Now we know that there was a whole, well, in Australia here, there's a whole nation kidnapped for the grind, right? Like with the stolen generation. Now this is a different perspective for some people. Like with the stolen generation, when during and after after colonialism, people were enslaved for the industries, right? You know, people were chained up and made to work for, like breadcrumbs, right? This is slavery, so this is the kidnapped and the slavery, and then you had the stolen generation that came later, which was in the 1950s, 1940s, 1950s, 1930s, upwards, who up until I think even the 1960s. Where children were taken away because they had already known that there was going to be a lack of labourers in the industries. So that was in agriculture, and so they stole people's children and put them into orphanages, and then they put them out as like farm labourers and domestic slaves, basically. And it wasn't just the Indigenous people, there was just poor people in general that were eating rabbits. My mum was one of those, and this could be about this, right? So like for my mum, her mother was living with 5 daughters out in the bush, right? Like they were sort of like fringe dwellers living in a shed, right? But they had their uncle there that as well, and a grandfather or something, and they pretty much lived off kangaroos and rabbits, but so they were considered poor, right? But they were independent. But the old man, the father, ran off. He was an alcoholic and buggered off with someone else, right? And so the mother pretty much lost her rights to the children because she didn't have a husband, and so the authorities, or it wasn't just the authorities, it was something to do with her father as well, and I think they were actually given money, but I'm not sure about that, for the children. So 3 of the children got put in an orphanage, and so then they were trained to be domestics. They were all girls, and then put out on people's farms and that to work. But it was actually a strategy. It was actually it's a written strategy that was put in place to take people out of poverty, right? They're saying they're taking people out of poverty, so they would take a lot of Indigenous children and that were, you know, they lived off the land, right? They didn't need to be the consumer. So this is giving me this, you know, like there's no loss in not having the consumers, because see, the Indigenous people lived off the land. My mum's family were living off of the land, but they were considered to be in poverty because they didn't actually have the money income. So the authorities then, you know, I mean, I think it was already illegal to not have a penny in your pocket, and then you could be locked up, right? You had to have at least a penny in your pocket. Otherwise they can lock you up for vagrancy or some damn thing, you know, homelessness or whatever. But so if people were living off of the land, they can't, they're not consuming from the system, right? And they needed, so the elites that had came in and had actually stolen the land in the first place, they had already foreseen that there was going to be a labour shortage, and they couldn't get people out into the, you know, like the remote areas and that to work. So the strategy was foreseen. So if we take these children, put them in homes, and then we can place them out into these workplaces and keep them only just educated, right? This is interesting how this has come out today. Yeah, so there's no wheel of fortune, and it was to keep people in poverty, but here there is no burden. So something's taking flight here, right? With this Knight of Wands. There's a major tower, and then we've got a Knight of Swords, which is a lack of movement. What's going on here? Hang on. So with Edgar Allan Poe that came out earlier, this could be something about telling the story, right? The kidnap of the children, because a lot of those children were just taken, right? Well, most of them were. Also, there was those, you know, like young women that, you know, may have got pregnant out of wedlock, and then they were, you know, like deemed, you know, like labelled as lowlifes for becoming pregnant. And most of the time, they were like RAPE sort of situations, and then they were taken and put into like workhouses, and their children taken away as well. So there was all these strategies of how to take the children, right? The lovers. And they didn't care. It's just like anybody in poverty. So somebody walking away from a lover's situation, just a minute. No, you can't have that, puppy. So we have a Queen of Pentacles and the Ten of Swords in reverse. Walking away from a lover's situation. Or a partnership, flight. A flight, somebody running away. Like, oh, wow, this is interesting. Because like in my mum's case, who is a Queen of Pentacles, she ran away from her situation. Flight. To run away from the Ten of Swords. Right? This is coming out very emotional for me, right? Give me a second. No loss in consumers eat rabbits. No, puppy. No. Just a minute. I'm going to have to put her on the rope, I think. Hang on. Just Just gave her a big old, give her a new bone. She's got a nice freshie. Okay. So yeah, this has become very emotional here. The flight. Oh dear. Okay, so this is the star of the show, which could actually be my mum. But this happened to lots of people, right? So it is very much collective. Okay. Oh, they may have ran away from an actual lover as well. Injustice. There was an injustice. Yeah, it might not in a partnership, running away from a partnership. I can't say a lover. It's more like a partnership. Somebody's run away from. Okay. Not heartbroken. Okay, Three of Swords in reverse. Okay, the Chariot is in reverse. It's not moving. Somebody could have broken down. Something's exposed. Somebody's chariot could have broken. The Hermit. Virgo. Ten of Wands, Page of Wands. Messages. Okay, so there was some lies told. Messages in reverse. The Chariot in reverse. No loss of consumption. No heartbreak. There was no heartbreak about losing something here. Gosh, this is a nice coffee. Okay, something is exposed about this Chariot. I'll come back to that Chariot in reverse. It's like something's broken down. Something exposed, something's broken down. Maybe it's the story that's breaking down. What is biting my foot? We've got a lot of March flies around at the moment. That's sad. Okay, let's get to this Nine of Cups. Magician in reverse. So, damn. Manipulation. Manipulating the resources. Who gets and who receives and who doesn't. That's what this is about. Guards down. Getting people in a position with their boundaries dropped. Alright? Manipulating somebody's resources. Magician. Because they're right, making all these laws. They made all these laws, right? They make it illegal to do so many things to be able to be independent, right? So they changed the laws to manipulate the resources, to be able to, you know, like have control over all resources, like their natural resource management. They're the ones that were working for, well, they were allocated, natural resource management was actually allocated to be the natural resource manager, right? Used to be Waters and Rivers Commission, and then it went to, what was it? Department of the Environment, and then it became Natural Resource Management, something like that. So we've got a King of Cups in reverse who's trying to manipulate someone's resources. Natural Resource Management, that's what they were there to do, you know, like they were the ones that documented all natural resources and how they were to be used, you know what I mean? And it was all about, it all had to be about the economy. It wasn't really about protecting the environment, which was what they were originally. It became more about how can they make money out of natural resources How can they build more on the economy with the natural resources? Okay, King of Pentacles, the bottom of the deck. Resources, managing. So, who's this King of Cups at the bottom of the deck? We'll come back to these. Okay, the Eight of Pentacles, the work. So the workers. So if there's no consumers, which are the workers are the ones that consume, right? They're the people. Oh, what is biting my feet? Damn. I think they might be those little fire ants, the bastards. I've got plenty of those here. Yeah, in reverse, right? Consumers in reverse. The masses, working population. Yeah. They're in reverse. So this is the workers in reverse, the masses. And they're saying there's no loss of consumers. If they lose the consumers, there's no loss. This is where we're at now. So we've gone from, so if we look at the history of how this is developed, you know, the strategies are all the same. Somebody's not moving away from something. No consumers. No consumers. No work. So this is saying no consumers, no work. Clarify this here. Yeah, Knight of Wands. Fast action. So this is like on a micro level here, so this is somebody's specific story in the now. Somebody could be coming forward like passionately for a workforce. Somebody might want to come in to work with someone because there is no workers. There's no workers, so this is like an energy that's coming in quickly because there's no workers. But there's no partnership here. Two of Cups, oh, this could be somebody, yeah, no partnerships. The Sun, it's been seen, so it's been seen that there's no workers somewhere. So some energy here could be moving quickly towards this. Oh, what is, hang on. Gotcha, bastard. Here's a big marsh fly, it kept stinging my foot. I thought it was a fire ant. Got him. Okay. So that's got to be significant, right? Something stinging. Somebody's stinging somebody's feet. It could be somebody stinging someone's feet to get them moving or something. Right. Okay, clarify the death here, please, Spirit. Death. Clarify the death. Whoops. Oh, wow, that's too much. It's one at a time, please, Spirit. Death, clarify. Death of the rabbit. Death of the rabbit. The Fool, new beginning. Ending a new beginning. Okay, so this is transformation. Ending a new beginning. So this is a transformation. And rabbit is also fertility. could also be seen as a consumer. Or a runner. Rabbits move quickly, right? So something's happening quickly for sure with the Knight of Wands here. There's a new beginning coming with no burdens. There's no burdens attached to somebody's new beginning. So this is good. The Fool. Yeah, an Ace of Wands. A passionate new beginning. No regrets. So this is actually a really good shift. So with all that past energy, something has shifted. This is like a whole paradigm shift here of the role of the consumers and the producers. This is a whole paradigm shift of the way the whole system is put together. This is wow. Okay, let's have a look at this Queen of Cups. Queen of Cups. Clarify the Queen of Cups. So we've got an end to this cycle of that what was created in the past. This is a whole different perspective, a whole different way of doing something here. Queen of Cups, clarify. Clarify this Queen of Cups, this mother figure. Clarify the mother figure with the rabbit. Is no longer sad. I said no longer sad, so somebody may have been sad, somebody's no longer upset about something. This is seeing something for what it is and moving on with the 2 cups that they've still got. So this is not wallowing over this. This is somebody moving on with their 2 cups, and somebody's no longer upset, no longer sad, because this is a whole new era, a cycle, paradigm. But somebody didn't want something to happen. There was illusions. 7 of Cups, 2 of Wands. Well, somebody didn't want this change to happen. Okay, 5 of Cups in reverse. Temperance in reverse. Untempered. Unfazed. Yeah, somebody's not sad, they're not phased, they're not worried. So this is a good thing. Okay, so the rabbit also is fertility, and that could be this change, this new cycle, this new birth of Ace of Wands. A new way of doing things. Something is not over. An injustice here with the sun. So something was exposed, an injustice was exposed, but something is not ended. So something is not over yet. But this is also at the bottom of the deck, so that can also be the past. Somebody might have been wallowing in the past a bit. Yeah, somebody might have been like stuck in the past, but this is moving on. Clarify this Queen of Swords at the bottom, over here in reverse. Somebody's got their ships coming in. So this is what's coming. Yeah. There was poor judgment over some pentacles here that somebody wasn't moving on from. That could have been, yeah, so that could have been like that, you know, that lack mindset that the majority of people get caught up in on the treadmill in the matrix, right, in that past structure, societal structure. Okay? But this is walking away from that. It's like there's a train wreck, a derailing of this old way. There's a derailing, somebody's derailed the old way. And no loss of consumers. There's no loss of consumers. There's no loss in having no consumers, is what I'm saying. I'm interested to see who this King of Cups magician is, and what they're about here. Because this could be somebody who was manipulating the resources for themselves. Because this is a King of Cups in reverse. This could be somebody very attached to the material wealth. So there's no loss in the consumers of material wealth. Because what is an object at the end of the day? I mean, how much shit is made and produced and sucking up resources of like useless stuff, you know what I mean? Like really useless stuff. I mean, look at McDonald's, how they produce all these stupid little plastic toys every time someone buys a Happy McMeal or whatever the fuck it is. You know what I mean? It's like ridiculous shit that's been produced at the expense of our resources. You know what I mean? It's kind of just like that overconsumption that we teach the children. That's what the children are learning, how to overconsume. It's all about what they can get, right? So this is what's changing. And this is a whole consciousness. Because the whole society was kidnapped by this consumer strategy to create this consumer society, which then perpetuates that slave society, you know. Okay, so let's clarify a few of these characters here to see maybe we've got a micro story here as well. Okay. Now, how do we judge these? Judge, I heard judge. How do we judge these? How do we judge? Justify, judge? Clarify this King of Swords here and the Star, please, Spirit. The kidnapped. King of Swords and the Star. Somebody kidnapped a star. Oop. A Chariot. It could be a Cancer here. Or this is what's coming. Or this could also be like the authorities kidnapped. Yeah, so this is somebody's story. Kidnapped by the authorities because that's what they did, right? The Star. And somebody became a star magician, a star magician. Well, this was a star magician. This was a main player here. That bloody, what's his name? That Neville is coming to mind here. You know, that Neville, the guy that was responsible for taking people's children. You know, like he was an overseer of stealing people's children here in Australia, in Western Australia. I don't know whether, yeah. I don't know what they call, what his actual role was called, I can't remember. But he was like the authority that, you know, said who was to be taken and you know, he was the one who made the orders, basically. Queen of Swords, what they was under the protection laws. Protection, was it Aboriginal protection laws? to protect, and they took, you know, like the mixed race children. Because they said, that's crazy, right? Let's take all the mixed race children. Because, you know, most of those people, especially the first wave of mixed race children, you know, was like all like products of rape, you know what I mean? Five of Swords in reverse, sabotage in reverse, Queen of Swords. Queen of Swords in reverse. This is not self-sabotage. There's information here that's been closed off, something is not over, and this is the healing process. There's a whole healing process going on here on this treadmill. Clarify the Two of Pentacles. This Queen of Swords was not self-sabotaging, they were actually sabotaged and placed on the treadmill. Clarify this treadmill. A Knight of Wands. Placed under the care of players. Oh dear. This is the somebody here being placed under the care of players to get anything coming in. The ship's coming in, Three of Wands. Clarify the Three of Wands. Moving fast, treadmill. Moving fast, treadmill. Having to, yeah, this is like pushing these people into this energy of having to, on the treadmill, having to move fast all the time, having to work, you know what I mean? It's that industrial thing. I'm hearing work, industrial rhythm, you know what I mean? It's that machine rhythm, working for the man, working. But I'm getting that, my mum used to sing a song when we had to clean house, like every Saturday, you know, like the floors had to be like polished and all this sort of shit, and everything had to be done, and my mum had that mentality, you know, she had that orphanage mentality of straight into that work, because that's what they did with the kids, you know, they taught them how to be domestics, but it was continuous, you know what I mean? Work. It was just work. And Mum used to sing this song when because, you know, obviously she teaches us what she learnt, right? So it was never ending work, right? And she used to sing this song, whistle while you work. So we're all happy about working, you know what I mean? Like, it actually used to work, right? Like, because it kept everyone's spirits up. And it's a bit like the soldiers, you know, like they're going into battle, but, you know, to keep the morale up, they would sing, right? Singing really helps people to keep moving, and especially when they're thrown onto this treadmill, you know, like, so that they're not going to go under, you know what I mean? Just got that wave of emotion again. Damn. Three of Wands, clarify this Three of Wands. Ships coming in, always working, waiting for the ships to come in. Somebody lied to a Queen of Swords, or a Queen of Swords lied down, but I'm getting this, the Queen of Swords is somebody with integrity and honest, right? But somebody lied to this Queen of Swords about the ships coming in, Oh, look, underneath that, oh, wow, they lied about a partnership. That just snuck out from underneath. Someone lied about someone's partnership. Someone lied about someone's partnership coming in. The Three of Wands. Two of Cups. Someone lied to a Queen of Swords, because this is this Queen of Swords here in reverse. About some sort of magic done on someone. This could be like spell work, right? Well, the spell work is that keeping someone on the treadmill, keeping somebody bound. But this could be like root work, like keeping somebody in this player energy, or somebody might have lied about someone being a player. Somebody could have lied about somebody, but oh, here's our butterfly back again. I did a little butterfly painting yesterday. Transformations, changing that. So somebody could have lied and said somebody was on the treadmill, but you know, like in that bad ways, you know, like, and it could have been to sabotage somebody. Somebody, is this almost like that with the star here, with the magician in reverse? This could have been somebody come in and said that somebody was pretty much on the treadmill, like of partnerships. You see what I'm saying? Never-ending cycle of different partners. Someone lied about a Queen of Swords in that ways. That's fucked up. So this has also given me, you know, like, you know, in the macro, in that historical sense of the story, keeping someone in poverty. This is keeping somebody in lack, using sex magic to keep someone in lack, keep somebody down, keep somebody in poverty and in that guilt energy of always having to give to others. This was a manipulation. So this is like ancestral manipulation. This, you know, like generational manipulation here. Okay, flight and lovers, clarify this. Lovers, flight. Someone left a deception. Seven of Swords. Lovers, deception, left. There's a deception surrounding why somebody left a situation. Page of Wands at the bottom of the deck, a message. Eight of Cups, clarify. Heartbreak. Somebody left a situation because there was a deception. There was a deception surrounding why somebody left a love situation. They were heartbroken. Or a partner, there was a deception around this partnership. Somebody left to avoid a Ten of Swords. Queen of Pentacles, Ten of Swords, clarify. They left to avoid a burden. Ten of Wands. The Star is in reverse. They left to avoid the Star. Now the Star at the beginning here could be this King of Swords. Can you hear that? That's the dog sucking on her bone. She's amazing how she chews up these massive bones. Okay. So whatever this is, this deception around the reasoning why somebody left somebody with this heart, because they were heartbroken. Well, this is giving me somebody who was not burdened by some heartbreak. Or they left to avoid heartbreak. There was a deception around this. Somebody was not a star. The star is in reverse. Somebody seen somebody for who they were, and they were heartbroken. So they left to avoid a burden because somebody was trying to turn a swords them. Yep, the devil. They left a situation heartbroken to avoid a burden, an extra burden with this devil energy. So somebody avoided a Ten of Swords situation here. Clarify the Three of Swords in reverse, no loss. Three of Swords in reverse. Clarify the Three of Swords in reverse, no loss. Not walking away. No loss in not walking away. Not leaving. It's like someone, there's no loss. Someone moving away, like no consumer, no loss, right? Somebody didn't lose out because of that. Or somebody actually just didn't care. They're no longer bound. Eight of Swords in reverse. No longer bound. What about this Chariot in reverse though, Spirit? What is this Chariot in reverse? Somebody may have actually had to walk away, like literally with no chariot, like no vehicle, no money, no nothing. Somebody might have had to walk away with nothing to avoid this imprisonment, this binding energy. Somebody had to walk away with nothing, like no chariot, no car. They didn't care, they just had to go because, and that's what's been seen here. Someone had no money, Six of Pentacles in reverse and the Moon, clarify. No vehicle, no money, no death. To avoid a death. Somebody had to avoid a Ten of Swords. So they had to leave with nothing to get away from this binding, I had binding contract there. See, we had this kidnapping here. Someone had to avoid this Chariot, which is this Chariot over here, this King of Swords, who was doing this magic to bind this person here. So somebody had to leave with nothing to get away. They had to get away from this Chariot to avoid a death here. To avoid the devil. So the flight here is running away. To avoid this. They had nothing. King of Pentacles at the bottom of the deck, exposed, the Sun, Judgment in reverse, Knight of Cups. So somebody made a poor judgment of a King of Pentacles, or a King of Pentacles had a poor judgment on something, an offer. This is like giving me somebody's offer, but it was, like it was not a good offer here. And this is going back to the story of the stolen generation and this offer of love, like an offer of a job, is being exposed for Page of Pentacles, keeping somebody in discombobulated, in a codependent sort of energy, like childlike energy, to temperance, to keep them in control, keep them under control. This was about trying to keep somebody under control here. Okay, so clarify the Nine of Cups. A missed opportunity. So there was a missed opportunity of resources. So this is somebody manipulating someone's resources. And clarify the Magician in reverse. The Magician in reverse. Ten of Pentacles. Causing somebody to miss out on their opportunities, their Ten of Pentacles. This is what somebody did here. With magic here. King of Cups in reverse. King of Cups in reverse. Clarify. King of Cups in reverse with this Magician, Ten of Pentacles. A Wheel of Fortune. So the Ten of Pentacles is the Wheel of Fortune. So somebody did something to cause somebody to lose their Wheel of Fortune, their Ten of Pentacles. This could be somebody's... somebody did magic to get somebody to lose all their resources. Their Wheel of Fortune, they took somebody's Wheel of Fortune. They took somebody's family. They took somebody's resources, Ten of Pentacles. They caused somebody to miss the opportunity to be able to benefit from their own inheritance. This was the King of Cups. Sun. Poor judgment exposed. A Knight of Cups. Cancer, Pisces or a Scorpio. Because that's a King of Cups there. Cancer, Pisces or a Scorpio. Page of Cups in reverse. Pisces in reverse. Could be Pisces. Could be a child. It could have been a child. It's in reverse. Tempered. Somebody could have lost a child. Yeah, tempered. Stops somebody's resources. Somebody did magic on someone to stop their inheritance or block their resources, their Wheel of Fortune, their destiny, what was theirs. They caused someone to have to walk away with nothing. Otherwise, they were going to take them out. There was a Ten of Swords. But somebody lied to somebody about a partnership. They said somebody was a player. Consumer, Eight of Pentacles. Temperance. Yeah, temperance. Tempering somebody's work. Stopping somebody from working with the Three of Cups. There's knowledge at the bottom of the deck. Extreme Tower. No money. This is somebody, stopping somebody's work. Three of Cups in reverse. stop somebody working with Page of Pentacles in reverse, to keep somebody in poverty. Somebody blocks someone's work to keep them in poverty. They block somebody's resources. So this is giving me like, you know, blocking somebody's natural resources. So we go back to natural resources, right? What was already theirs, which is the environment, you know, what God gave us, right? And this is putting somebody, stopping them and making them have to work for it. Like what was already theirs. It was like they took what was theirs and then made them work for what was already theirs. Making them codependent. Okay, Knight of Wands, clarify the Knight of Wands. The authority, the King of Swords. Coming quickly. This King of Swords could actually be like a lawyer or something who is in regret. This could be, you know, like an authority that... this could be somebody who's looking at this situation. They could be moving quickly because they're feeling something here. They're feeling regretful. This could be somebody who acted impulsively and they regret it. Somebody here could have acted impulsively and to block somebody's work, and now they regret it. They tempted someone's work, they stopped someone's work, they blocked someone to keep them in poverty, and now they regret it. They were impulsive. They blocked somebody off of their resources, or their family even, or their work colleagues or community. Death. Clarify the death. Death of the rabbit. A Knight of Cups. So this is the transformation, right? This is coming with the Fool. So somebody might be ending something and they want to transform a situation by bringing an offer. A Knight of Cups and the Fool. Clarify. So that there's no more juggling. Ace of Wands. The Sun. This could be happiness here, this Ace of Wands. Somebody could be bringing an actual, you know, like, because the Sun in the upright is, it can be like illuminating something. Illuminating a new beginning, a new passion, on this new beginning, on this Fool's journey, like this new paradigm. This is sort of like exposing a whole, you know, like as I was saying, this is a whole new something, passionate beginning. A whole new passionate beginning has been illuminated, and somebody wants to bring an offer towards this. Might be because they don't want to juggle anymore, or they don't want, or this is somebody who is in regret, that regrets blocking somebody from their resources, and now they want to rectify a situation for a new beginning. It's like blocking someone from all their resources and stuff, causing all these problems for somebody, blocking their work, and lying on them about their infidelity, and then coming back with an offer for a new beginning, because they don't want to juggle their pentacles anymore. Or they don't want to be stuck juggling their pentacles. Shh, Luna, it's all right. Shh, 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 shh. Okay, clarify the Queen of Cups and the Rabbit. Queen of Cups. So this is fertility, this is a new beginning. Nine of Cups. Wish fulfillment. This is a lot of love here. Somebody's no longer in regret. This is a lot of fertility here. Being with the rabbit, right? There's a lot. This is like multiplying the resources. Somebody's multiplying their resources. Somebody's been given one cup and they've turned it into 9 cups. Or they're adding to the 9 cups to make 10 cups. That's wish fulfillment, right? And they're no longer sad. 5 of Cups in reverse. 5 of Cups in reverse. Clarify the 5 of Cups in reverse. Clarify. Family in reverse. So this could be like lost family. With no money, or this could be they want to invest. So now somebody wants to invest in someone's loss. Does that make sense? Somebody wants to invest in someone's loss. This is the past. It's like, this is like investing in the underdog, right? Investing in, you know how like the hero that had to go on a journey of all sorts of shit, right? The hero or the fool, like the fool's journey is that journey of growth, you know, like having to go through all these experiences and whatnot to actually get to an elevated you know, like the high priestess, or make it to the Hierophant, you know, like they become the authority, or you know, because they've been through everything that brought them knowledge, right? So they have the knowledge, and the underdog is also that hero, like, that becomes romanticised, like Ned Kelly, for instance, you know, like the bush ranger that became the hero. You know, he was a thief and a murderer, but at the same time he became that because of the journey that he was forced on by the powers that be that actually stole the resources and, you know, like put their family lineage into slavery. They become the hero, right? They become the romanticised hero. But quite often, that romanticised hero, or that person that has been through it, quite often they're a thug. They become a thug, right? It's either they become enlightened by their journey, or they become a thug. It's either way. But sometimes the thug can be romanticised into a hero that is not. But somebody here wants to now, but this is not what we got here. We actually have somebody here that is elevated into a Ace of Wands. That somebody can see that somebody is the mother. The mother figure here is the Queen of Cups, is still made it through with the Nine of Cups. So they still made it through this situation with a heart, and they didn't become that thug energy, right? So after going through all these stages of growth, experiences to learn from, right? Having everything stolen from them and having to redevelop themselves and whatnot. Now they're getting an offer because somebody transformed into a Queen of Cups, which is somebody that has still kept their heart, right? So now somebody wants to invest in that prosperity, because what comes with the heart is prosperity, right? Now someone, and this is somebody who stole everything from the collective. The collective is the Queen of Cups here, I believe, who's not sad. They made it through untempered. They made it through without losing their heart, even though they had all the resources taken from them. So now somebody wants to invest in somebody's loss. Do you see what I'm saying? And this could be investing in someone's story. Seven of Pentacles, clarify. Somebody didn't learn their lessons. We have a Queen of Wands here that now wants, so this is the Queen of Wands, so she's in reverse. So this could be somebody from someone's past here that never learnt their lessons. This person never learnt their lessons. They didn't care. They weren't sad. They didn't care. This person was this person that very much invested in taking from the collective. That was what they invested in. So this person, this Queen of Wands in reverse, could be a Sagittarius, Leo, or an Aries, invested themselves. They didn't care in taking from the collective. And that was everything, taking everything from the collective. Put them through all this shit. So this could be somebody who's sold out on the collective. Temperance. Could be Sagittarius. King of Wands at the bottom of the deck. They could have sold out to a King of Wands at the bottom of the deck for a new beginning. So somebody could have actually sold the collective to a King of Wands energy for their own benefit, their own new beginning, somebody's knowledge. Somebody sold somebody's knowledge. Shit. What? This is like somebody selling somebody else's story. They sold it to a King of Wands to save themselves. They took someone's knowledge, someone's experience, somebody's life. Somebody's stolen somebody's life. Somebody's stolen somebody's story. And they sold it to a King of Wands for a new beginning for themselves. But they're going to be going through a tower, right? There's no messages, there's no communication here about this. This is a High Priestess in reverse. This is like a double ganger. This is a manipulator, major manipulator right here. Okay. Clarify this Fool and the King of Wands, please. So this person's waiting for their ships to come in. We have a Hierophant in reverse and a King of Cups in reverse, waiting for their ships to come in. So somebody's waiting for their cut. So these couple of people here, we could have a Taurus and we could have a Cancer, Pisces or a Scorpio, are waiting for their cut in this. Really. And we could also have, you know, like this Sagittarius, Leo, Aries, masculine. So we've got a Queen of Wands in reverse and a King of Wands. Hierophant in the reverse and a King of Cups in reverse. These people are unholy. And they're stealing somebody's soul. They've cashed in. They've invested in taking everything from someone and created a story. What are they waiting for, Spirit? They're waiting for a tower. No, shh. What? You finish the poem? No. So what's this extreme tower they're waiting for? The extreme tower they're waiting for a Ten of Swords in reverse. So the extreme tower is a reversal. So they're actually waiting for this to backfire on themselves. They know that this is going to come back on them. Clarify, please. Ten of Swords in reverse. The Tower. Yeah, they're going to be. It's over. Four of Swords. Four of Swords. Clarify this Four of Swords. This is a victory collective. I could be waiting for the ending of the collective. That's what they're waiting for. They're waiting for a victory to get, oh wow, not holding back. They're waiting to cash in. They're waiting to cash in on somebody's victory. They're waiting for a word. Page of Wands, clarify. They're waiting for good news. That they can, yeah, a Leo. Strength. Somebody's waiting to cash in on something. Shh. The loss of a child. Pisces. Someone's waiting to cash in on the loss of a child. In the dark. Cancer. They don't want to be left out in the cold. Five of Pentacles, the Moon. Yep, they don't want to move on. From stability, from a house. Four of Wands. Four of Wands, they don't want to move away from the house. The Knight of Swords is here. There could be police coming. Knight of Swords, clarify. Justice. Yep, police are here. Look at that. These people are going to get their karma. And A King of Pentacles is here to make an offer. We've got a Queen of Pentacles in reverse. Loss of a family. Someone's not getting their wish fulfillment. They're going to be stuck. I got their boundary up. Someone's got their boundaries up. So let's just see who this is, eh? Okay, clarify who's all involved. I think we've got everybody that was involved in this. Somebody's auntie. A mother. Hang on. Who's all involved here? Mother. Someone's mother. Someone's mother could be an auntie, or someone's mother could be their auntie. We've got a niece. Someone's niece. Somebody's auntie, somebody's mother, and somebody's niece. Somebody's mother could be their auntie. Clarify. Hang on. Clarify. An in-law. So there's a mother-in-law. Or could be, just someone's in-law, like sister-in-law or something, or cousin. We've got a brother. Hang on. Church. Well, that comes down to the, like the stolen children in that church. We have a Gemini. Who else is involved here, Spirit? We have a Cancer. We have a daughter. Could be a Cancer's daughter. There's a family. Someone's daughter, someone's family. This is someone's family, obviously. This is fucked up. An Aries. Could be an Aries family. Sister. Someone's sister. Could be an Aries. Someone's nephew. Another sister. There's two sisters there. Somebody travelled. Who travelled? Hometown. Someone could have travelled to somebody's hometown to do something. A father. Society. A father of a society. Work. To somebody's work. Scorpio at the bottom of the deck. So we'll leave it there. Same old story by the look of it, but we got a little bit of the heart and the root of something here this time, which is a little different, right? So we're really, we're really going in deep here. It feels like, especially when I pull out these, like who's involved cards, like there always seems to be a pattern of the same. So, but each time we do the reading, we get more of the story, you know what I mean? The background, the history to something here, which is interesting. So anyway, I'm going to leave it there. Please like, share and subscribe, and you can make a donation. It would be very, very grateful. In the super thanks, if, that would be really a help to me. So, and that way I can keep the messages coming and we can get deeper into the stories. So I'll leave it there and I'll see you in the next one. Bye bye.